All right, let's just be real for a second. Are you tired of feeling broke, stressed out, like you're just stuck in this loop you can't get out of? If that's you, then you're gonna wanna listen to this. We're about to cut through all that noise and get laser focused on one single mission. So let's dive right in. Look, forget about those fantasies of making millions overnight. Your only mission is to make your first $10,000. And I'm telling you, that first 10K, it's the hardest money you will ever make. But it's also the most important. Why? Because hitting that number proves something to yourself. It proves that making money isn't some random stroke of luck. It's a skill that you can learn. And once you've learned it, you can do it again and again and again. Okay, but here's the thing. This is exactly where most people go completely off the rails. You know, they see a buddy make some quick cash and they immediately dive headfirst into stuff like day trading or crypto. Let me be clear. Those are not side hustles to get you started. They're tools to multiply money you already have. They take a ton of cash and, frankly, a whole lot of luck to even begin. What you need is something different. You need a real, proven system that actually puts cash in your pocket consistently without you having to bet the farm. So, if you strip away all the nonsense from online gurus and these crazy, complicated schemes, it turns out there are really only 4 basic ways to start making money. That's it. And choosing the right path, well, it's absolutely crucial. It's the engine that's going to determine how fast you get paid and how big you can grow. All right, so what are our choices? Let's break them down. First up, you've got in-person services. Think personal training, washing cars, that kind of thing. It's super fast cash for sure, but the problem is you're stuck in one place and you only have so many hours in a day. Then there's path 2, local products, selling cupcakes at the local market. It's fun, but your ingredients cost money, eating into your profits, and you can only sell to people in your town. And path 3, global products. This is your classic drop shipping or Etsy store. Now your reach is massive, which is great, but all your cash gets tied up in buying more inventory. It's a constant cycle. And that brings us to the 4th path. This is the undeniable sweet spot, especially if you're starting from scratch. Online services. It takes the best of both worlds, right? You get the global reach of a product with the awesome profit margins of a service. And check this out. This is what's so wild. Look at the profit difference. With products, if you're lucky, you're keeping maybe 20–30%. And most of that cash, it goes right back into buying more stuff to sell. But with an online service, we're talking video editing, social media management, you name it. You're looking at 70–80% profit margins. That's money that goes straight into your bank account. It is a complete game changer. Okay, so you're sold. Online services, it is. Great. But how do you actually take that and scale it up to a $10,000 income? Well, the answer is right here. It's this 4-level skill pyramid. If you can master these 4 things, you can turn pretty much any skill into some serious cash. All right, level 1, the foundation, positioning. Listen, the real money isn't just about selling a service. It's about selling a solution that helps the business make more money. Just think about it for a sec. A business that's already pulling in, say, 50 grand a month, they won't even blink at paying you $2,000 if your service helps them make even more. So here's the key. Don't just be a video editor for some small-time YouTuber. Be the video editor for an entrepreneur who's actually selling something. Okay, moving up the pyramid to level 2, leverage. This one is so important. You have to stop charging by the hour. I mean it. Businesses do not care how long it took you. They care about the result. When you start charging for the value you bring, the return on their investment, like more leads or more sales, you instantly change the game. You're no longer just another expense they can cut. You become a valuable asset they can't afford to lose. 3rd level up, we've got reach. The biggest mistake I see people make is they think they have to be constantly hustling, constantly chasing down new clients. Wrong. The real goal is to get clients to come to you. So how the heck do you do that? Simple. You put your work out there for everyone to see. Show off those before and after clips. Post about why your designs get more clicks. You have to document your process and share your results. I actually saw this happen in real life. I found this graphic designer on TikTok, and he was just posting his designs for fun. Seriously, he wasn't even trying to land a job. But his stuff was so good that his DMs were just flooded with people like me, businesses, begging to work with him. The guy built a whole client list without ever sending a single cold email. All he did was show people what he could do. And finally, we're at the very top of the pyramid. This is the secret weapon: reliability. You want to know what really truly separates the top earners from everyone else? It's not always pure talent. It's being the most organized, reliable person they know. The people who never miss a deadline. The ones who communicate clearly and just make the whole process easy. Get this. Something like 95% of side hustles fail. And it's not because people aren't talented enough. Nope. It's because they're unreliable. They make a promise, and then they just ghost. They miss the deadline. If you can just be the one person your client knows they can always count on, you will never, ever run out of work. All right, so let's jump ahead. Imagine you've done it. You've used this pyramid, you've made your first $10,000. Congratulations. But now the real work begins. Now is when we start building actual long-term wealth. And to do that, you gotta make a huge mental shift from an earner's mindset to an owner's mindset. And you have to burn this next idea into your brain. Poor people see income as money to spend. Wealthy people see income as a tool to buy more money. Until you have $1 million in the bank, you cannot afford to waste your income on shiny objects. That money isn't for spending, it is a tool. And your only goal is to use every single dollar to buy more dollars. So, how do you actually do that? Well, it's pretty simple actually. You use a 4-tier investment ladder, and we're gonna walk through it right now, step by step, starting with the absolute safest stuff and working our way up to the high-risk plays. Okay, first rung on the ladder. And this part isn't about getting rich quick. It's about not going broke. We're talking about a high-yield savings account. Think of this as your financial safety net. It's a cash buffer. So when life inevitably punches you in the gut, you don't have to panic sell your long-term investments just to cover some emergency. Okay, next rung up. This right here, this is the real engine of long-term wealth building. Index funds. This is how you make your money start working for you instead of the other way around. It's the ultimate set it and forget it strategy that turns small, regular investments into a giant pile of money over time. And just look at the numbers here. It's crazy. Your savings account might get you, what, 3%? Meanwhile, an S&P 500 index fund, which is basically just you owning a tiny piece of the 500 biggest companies in America, has historically returned over 10% a year, on average. That difference, compounded over a few decades, that's not just wealth, that's life-changing money. All right, so once you've got that solid foundation of index funds doing its thing, you can start climbing a little higher on the ladder. You can take a small slice of your money and put it into individual stocks. Now, this is definitely riskier, right? You're betting on one horse instead of the whole race. But it's also an incredible way to learn. Trust me, when it's your own money on the line, you'll learn how to read a company's financials faster than you ever thought possible. And finally, we're at the very tippy top of the risk ladder. We're talking about crypto. And let's be crystal clear about this. This is pure speculation, a high-risk, high-reward gamble. The price can go to the moon one day and crash to zero the next. That's why the #1 absolute golden rule of crypto is this: do not, I repeat, do not invest a single penny that you are not fully prepared to lose forever. So you see, making that first $10,000, it isn't some fantasy. It's a formula. It's about choosing a low-cost online service, obsessing over solving real problems for businesses, being more reliable than anyone else, and then having the discipline to invest what you make. You have the entire blueprint right in front of you. So the only question left is, what's the first problem you're going to get paid to solve?